Hi, Tanya. This
Hi,
is
how
James.
you doing, James?
Hey, good, good. I just joined EXP Commercial maybe a few months ago. I switched over from EXP Realty. I'm also a commercial appraiser, but I
Okay.
do real estate. And I
Uh-huh.
did come up with a list of questions for this meeting. Um, I hope I can kind of shotgun them at you. Uh,
Sure, go for it.
okay, so the first question, what are the EXP and general requirements to become a business broker?
So within EXP Commercial, if you want to sell businesses, you need to request a business broker addendum to your independent contractor agreement, and then they will send you their requirements. They'll send you the amendment, but they'll also send you a list of requirements. So typically, they require you to join the IBBA which is the International Business Broker Association. They want you to take 3 basic courses, 104, 107, and 119, I believe, which 104 is legal aspects of business brokerage, 107 and 119, I forget what the titles are, but basically they're introductory level classes to just get you familiar with business brokerage and make sure that you have a basic level of information. Then they assign you to work with a mentor, or you
Okay.
select a mentor, actually. They'll send you the list. And so you connect with your mentor, and your first 3 transactions your mentor will assist you with your first 3 transactions. And then after that, you can sell businesses on your own. So
Oh,
that's the process that EXP Commercial has currently.
okay. Okay. And are there any go-to like data sources for comparable sales and multipliers, such as the CoStar, but for business or something like
Yeah,
that?
so the thing about business is that businesses and the businesses that we sell are they're private companies. And there's no requirement that anything be recorded when a transaction occurs. So with real estate, and when you're dealing with real property, you have taxes that have to be paid. And you have deeds that are all recorded. And so for that reason, it's fairly easy to come up with comparables because the taxes are always calculated based on what the property price was, or what was paid for the property. So with business, it's not quite that simple. There are some databases out there. They're incomplete. They are, you've got BizComps. You've got PeerComps isn't really a database; it's a service. It's a valuation service, but they do use a database. But BizComp's Deal Stats, which used to be Pratt Stats, and BVA, I think, is there is a database that is provided to you with your IBBA membership as a benefit of IBBA. So the problem with all of them is that they're incomplete. And then in addition to that, when you're dealing with businesses, you're never comparing apples to apples because in you don't know necessarily if the price of the business included inventory or didn't include inventory. Um, did it include accounts receivable or not? I mean, was there working capital involved? So there are other variables that can come into play that are not really necessarily specified. There's also things that happen in transactions. Maybe the seller was given a consulting agreement, so he may have accepted a little bit lower price, but wanted that, a little bit higher um, rate on the consulting agreement. So there's other things that you just are not aware of when you're trying to find comps for businesses. So all that being said, the information you can get is in BizComps and Deal Stats. And then also, as far as multiples go, your business reference guide online is a free benefit from IBBA. So with your IBBA membership, you have access to Business Reference Guide Online, which will give you rules of thumb of the multiples. But understand that multiples are affected by many things, including just the level of discretionary earnings, or EBITDA, that a business has. So, you know, a business that is throwing off $500,000 in EBITDA is going to sell for a higher multiple than a business that is only throwing off, you know, $70,000 of EBITDA or SDE. So that's why business valuation is an art and a science, right? The math is the science, that's the easy part, but there's a lot of factors, and you just get a feel for it when you're doing those valuations. So I hope that answered your question. You're on mute, James.
Yes, it did. Thank you. And I have, you know, other questions as well, but I want to be cognizant of everyone else in here. So
okay. Well,
yeah.
and one other thing that I forgot to mention is that when you pull a report from Business Reference Guide online, oftentimes it contains some of the information from deal stats. So, you know, that'll give you the problem with some of it, the information though, is if you're dealing with a business that is, you know, maybe the business value is somewhere under $1 million. Okay. So let's just say the business value is under $1 million. And when you look at the statistic, at the things that deal stats gives you, it says, okay, well, you know, businesses with revenue up to $1 billion is going to be, you know, is sell for some multiple. And it's like, well, I don't really care about revenue up to $1 billion, right? Because that's not the market that we are typically working in. So some of the information is not that relevant, but again, it's a data point. And if you look at everything as just being a data point, it's not going to give you a quick answer, but everything is going to give you a little bit more information, a little bit more information, a little bit more information until you can come up with a reasonable value.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.